Procrastination is my biggest obstacle. I've been procrastinating making this video for weeks now. I can't really tell you why, but it's something I've struggled with all my life. Maybe I can discover the answer through the process of speaking this to you. I procrastinate everything I really want to do in life. It appears that I would much prefer to leave things untarnished in dream form rather than actually trying to accomplish anything in the real world. I hate this about myself. It's one of the many things I wish I could change about myself, but always seem to fall short in doing so. The power of the idealized fantasy always seemed too strong. When still in dream form, the feelings I receive are otherworldly and most surely unrealistic. But this doesn't matter. The dopamine hit it gives me is enough to satiate any immediate desire to engage with the task. It's like what I imagine heroin to be like, floating on a cloud of pure, warm ecstasy. One small action in my mind becomes a huge ego-fueled scheme for world domination. Endless possibilities to grow and feed the unmet desire to be known, to be somebody, to be able to quit my job and work from anywhere, anytime, on projects that matter to me. My mind strips itself of all the potential hardships that could arise during the process of actually taking action in the real world and leaves me with a blissful fantasy of what could be. It's all too perfect. Why would I surrender this sweet escape from reality to be met with the struggles and challenges this path will obviously entail? I heard a quote recently which said, "The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding." It deeply resonated with me. There is definitely an undeniable attractiveness to leaving ideas and dreams exactly where they are as tasks for some future date and time when the circumstances are more optimal. Doing this doesn't require any work whatsoever, and we humans seem to love finding the easiest path, the comfortable path, the most safe path. The real magic, however, lies within the action itself, whether the results are positive or negative. Magic doesn't only reside in your best days, but also the trials and tribulations you face when you're about to give up on your worst days, or even when you've already given up. As the popular quote states, nothing that is easy is worth doing. If it was easy to achieve goals, we wouldn't learn, adapt, or grow as human beings. Growth is imperative to happiness. All my goals I live out as fantasies in my mind bring the immediate short-term gratification my tiny dopamine-addicted brain so desperately craves. My brain, as well as many other people's, is hardwired to seek this. Short-term, big ideas that floods it with the chemicals it desires can leave it deprived when the real work begins, and when we realise the process of actually achieving this is not as immediate of a fix as your brain would like. So your brain then seeks the next big thing to drown itself in dopamine. The brain is a drug addict. We are all drug addicts, addicted to the chemicals in our brains that give us the feeling of bliss. We will chase this forever, but maybe there is no chase needed after all. Being a dopamine addict is why I switch from project to project on a monthly basis. The cycle goes like this. Brain is excited over an idea. We plan world domination and give an unrealistic time frame in order to achieve said idea. The work begins. The realization that this is harder than expected and not immediately gratifying hits. The motivation dies, the excuses pile in, and we search for the next thing to feed our addiction. Rinse and repeat. Wouldn't it be nice if we could balance our motivation and dreams with the real world activity? To utilize our brains to understand and be actually motivated by the challenges and setbacks we will inevitably face. Somehow, we need to rewire our brains to see setbacks as a positive thing. After all, a setback is a success. A failure is also a success. It means you're closer to the thing that will work for you. You now know what you don't want, what didn't work for you, and that pulls you so much closer to what you do want. I've had so many failures in my life, and by beginning to switch my perspective on some of them, others I'm still working on, I've been able to see what I have learned, how I have grown, and how I needed this in order for me to become the person I needed to be today. If I only could consistently practice this, to be motivated by consistent failure and where this will lead. Maybe this is the key to beating procrastination once and for all. I have had so many adventures that ended in so-called failure, and with each one of them, I received an amazing experience out of it which I wouldn't change for the world. Failure has been the making of me, and my fantasies have been the destruction of me. inflating my ego further and further, sinking me deeper into sadness, jealousy and despair. Don't believe the lies your ego tells you any longer. Spare yourself from this self-inflicted false paradise that never truly existed. True existence lies in the hardships, the challenges and the failures. Enjoy your good days, but don't attach to them, for everything passes in the end. It is deep in the ground below us where we begin our journey, spending years forming and developing our attitudes, beliefs, ethics and our mental strength. Don't feel the need to grow past others and fall into the trap of comparison and jealousy, but rather seek to grow past the person you are now and once were. You don't need external validation to solidify your growth. That is the ego speaking again. Stay quiet and introspective. You don't need to let the world know about your growth. This will only cause more pain in the future when things don't progress in the linear fashion we tend to imagine things should. The world wants to bring you down, not lift you up. You need enough mental resilience before you face it to be able to continually grow and stick to the path in the face of adversity and stay steady on the highs and lows that it will surely bring. The journey is within yourself, seek it nowhere else. Push past the desire to leave your dreams untarnished in your mind out of fear of rejection or it not being good enough to succeed. For we learn more in our failures than we do in our successes. This journey is one I am currently on and far from mastering, but having these words to turn back to will hopefully steady my feet when the path becomes challenging. It will definitely become challenging too. Challenging in ways that will make you want to give up, quit and never look back. But this is where we grow and build ourselves past our previous selves. I don't think this journey will be something that ever ends, but it will become a voice that gets quieter over time. I will grow the more I pay attention to it, or seek it. It will be a constant that will become more manageable over time. But as we know, life and progression itself are not linear. We will go through ups and downs, twists and turns and unexpected situations that fling us off our path. But ultimately, it is our choice to make our way back, no one else's. Take accountability and free yourself from the power of others who have controlled you in the past. It is all on you now and you alone. You will find the path and you will come back to it, just as we all will.